In this NUAGE tutorial, we're going to talk about the automation punch log. The punch log is a list of punches that is in the center part of this automation panel here. A punch is anytime you've used preview and you've punched in those parameters. And the idea behind the punch log is that you can actually reload those parameters into preview and then punch them in another location. For example, in a film mix, let's say we're in this section of the film and we have these EQ settings. And we want to be able to copy these settings but punch them in down the timeline in another section of the movie. Say the scene comes back, it's the same location. We want to match the settings. It could be EQ, it could be the aux sends, it could be the fader levels, multiple channels, it could be a lot of things. A punch can contain automation data, automation settings for multiple channels and multiple parameters. But let's just use the equalizer as our example. So punch number 7 here was the last time I had punched in all those EQ parameters. So if I just load the punch, notice how the EQ setting has changed and everything has been put in preview. This sort of recreates the settings we had when we were in preview before and made these EQ changes. And now I can locate further down the timeline somewhere, let's say here where the scene comes back, and now I can punch that EQ setting in for this scene. When you use this in conjunction with fill to loop, you can simply set the left and right locators to the scene and punch the EQ in for the entire scene in one step. Very quick, very easy. As a matter of fact, let's scoot down the timeline a little bit further here. Set the left locator, set the right locator, use the fill to loop. Now I'm going to load that punch, and without even playing, I'm going to hit punch and punch those settings in from the left locator to the right locator. That was a one-step operation. I punched in some 20 odd parameters of automation, filled them to the loop that I defined with the locators, and done in 1 second. So if you create a whole series of parameters in preview for one scene and punch those in, you can reload that punch and apply those parameters to a different part of the timeline. So that's how the punch log works. Very handy tool in film mixing, allowing you to do some rather complicated automation tasks relatively easily. So we'll be back with more tutorials.